On this edition of CPS 360, the college fair comes to Rockbridge, Hickman golf may be in danger, and we hear what students think about the election. CPS 360 starts now.
Yo, what's up, CPS 360? This is will.i.am.
Welcome to this edition of CPS 360. I'm Isabel Bouchard. Traveling around the country to visit colleges can be expensive and exhausting. This year, colleges made the trip to Rockbridge. I visited and got the inside look. With a majority of colleges requiring applications to be due December 1st, the CCV Columbia College visit was a good opportunity for many students to weigh their options.
This is a great venue just because all the students are really interested, and it's not too early that they're still asleep, but it's also not too late that they don't care, so it's a really good event.
I've been looking at some colleges in Missouri, and since like Truman and like Mizzou, they're like here, and so it's really good to talk to people that are actually from there and just like get information.
Rockbridge High School hosted the College Fair October 5th, bringing in speakers from many different job fields and representatives from different colleges, all in hopes to open the minds of Rockbridge students.
One of the ones I really liked was the theater and dance one. I found that very interesting because like I'm very interested in like theater and all that, and just like hearing what they like said about like how it's a really like important choice because you're not always going to have a steady income, so you have to make sure it's something you know you're really like dedicated to and interested in, which I thought was like very like enlightening to like hear that, you know.
I thought it was pretty beneficial. It kind of like gave me a perspective of what I kind of wanted to do and kind of where I needed to go if I wanted to pursue what I wanted to be.
This annual event helps contribute to many students' decision for what to do after high school.
Actually going to it like made it easier to see like what path I want to go down, and it made it more specific to what colleges I want to go to.
Mrs. Breed, the host of the CCV, gave her thoughts on how she feels opportunities such as the college fair are beneficial for students.
Basically what we wanted to do is have an opportunity for our Rockbridge students to have access to a wide variety of different colleges and also people from different careers, because I think that we have a lot of our students that don't really know what they want to do after they graduate, but they don't necessarily take advantage of some of the opportunities off campus, like the Missouri College Fair that they have at the Hearn Center, or coming in even to guidance and meeting with college representatives.
The college fair may not have influenced all Rockbridge students' decisions for after high school, but those who were are now able to graduate with a peace of mind for the future. For CPS 360, I'm Isabel Bouchard. Paying for the college you choose can sometimes be really hard. Here's Laurel Critchfield with the story.
For a senior in high school bound for college, many decisions have to be contemplated. What school to choose, where to live, and most of all, how to pay for it all.
I think one of the things that like a lot of people don't think about going into college is just like all the extra finances that go into it. Not only do you have like your upfront payments that you have to pay for like just being enrolled in this school, and you're just like yearly tuition. I mean, you have things like book dues, meal plans, room and board. If you want to be involved in an organization like a sorority or fraternity, there's also those things that you have to worry about. So college is definitely not cheap in any way.
With all the cost college requires, there can be a massive amount of stress put on the student. But when the cost is fronted by another party, senior year and planning for college can actually be an enjoyable experience.
I'm involved in newspaper and yearbook, and like I wouldn't be able to do that if I had to pay for college, because right after school I would have to go right to work and like try to pay for that college if my parents were trying to build character. But since my parents don't believe in that and they say, no, go have fun and like we'll pay for your education, like then I'm really happy and I really appreciate that. Like obviously I'm trying to get scholarships, ease the burden of for my parents, but like I don't feel as much pressure as I would if they made me pay for it.
However, if a student's parents are financially incapable of paying for college, there are other outlets like government grants and scholarships. In Missouri, there is a great discount called A+ for students that maintain a 95% attendance, a 2.5 GPA, and do 50 hours of volunteer tutoring.
They'll pay for 2 years of a community college or like a vocational school. So like you can go to a community college for free.
Free college is a great money saver, a benefit to both students and parents. Some students choose to take another path, heading to the military.
I'm on the GI Bill. And so when I enlisted in 2006, in my contract, I basically had to pay every month for the first 12 months I was in the Army, I paid $100. And that made me eligible for the GI Bill. So when I got out, I now get actually paid to go to school. My tuition is paid for and my books are paid for.
Although, Colin encourages students to really consider whether going into the military is what they want for their lives, and not to jump in just for the funds. For students that none of the previous options work, there are always student loans. But some students avoid this route in order to eliminate future stress.
It's definitely something that can be a burden, but at the same time, it's something that I try not to worry about. The good thing about student loans is that you do basically have your whole life to pay them off, so it's not like, oh, your first year out of college, you have to make sure that everything that like you've invested in has to be given back right away. It's something that you can gradually pay back in good time.
With all the options available, there are many things to consider.
I think it's really important to have a discussion with their parents and make sure that they're all on the same page about what funds are available for college tuition, and kind of have a realistic expectation of how much a school is going to cost. But that being said, we really encourage our students to have a conversation with the financial aid offices at the colleges and universities that they're applying to. The sticker price of a school on paper may not be what you end up having to pay, and so students have to complete financial aid paperwork, the FAFSA. Sometimes there's other financial aid documents that a college will want to receive. And then they'll sit down with the student and with the parents and kind of talk about what the estimated family contribution would be. And oftentimes that's not the same as a sticker price for the school.
Despite the pressure to answer all the questions about the future, seniors should still strive to enjoy their senior year. For CPS 360, I'm Laurel Critchfield.
Now Ashton Day gives us a first-hand look at former Cupies who have made their way back to Hickman High School.
The high school campus is usually empty on a Saturday morning, but every now and then, Hickman gets a blast from the past. Hickman is the oldest high school in Columbia and takes great pride in its history. One of the ways they celebrate this history is by hosting alumni tours.
There's a cuping.net website out there, and one of our alumni runs that, Charlie Blackmore, and he tries to get all of the alumni reunion information put up there. And so once they get it put up there, then I contact those individuals and say, hey, would you like to tour Hickman?
Student volunteers give up a Saturday morning to lead these tours.
I think it's really cool to see where Hickman has been, because I think to understand where Hickman's going to go in the future, we have to know the history of Hickman, and it's just great to see all the people who have been at Hickman and who have so much pride in Hickman and had a great experience here. I think that makes me even more proud to be a CUPE.
Not only do the students learn their history, but the alumni also enjoys reminiscing.
We are the ones that beat Jeff City. We broke their 71-game winning streak.
There are some things that even time can't change. The pride of a high school runs deep, and for these Hickman alumni, once a CUPE, always a CUPE. For CPS 360, I'm Ashton Day.
Homecoming week at Rockbridge is always a big deal. This year, it was more colorful than ever. Here's Alyssa Pico with the details.
Growing up, what little girl doesn't want to be a queen? For this year's Homecoming Queen candidates, they finally had the opportunity to make their childhood dreams come true.
I mean, it was running through my mind like, oh my gosh, that would be the coolest experience ever. But I never really thought it would be a possibility, so.
The girls spent the week doing different activities that corresponded with the theme, Color the Community. Candidates did the traditional lunch activities and the not-so-traditional volunteer activities. The girls went to the VA hospital, Rockbridge Elementary, and the food bank. Candidates appreciated the opportunity given to participate in these activities.
I think it was great, especially this year, just being able to do all the different community services and being able to just give back, and I loved it.
At the end of the week, candidate Morgan Bumby was awarded the title Homecoming Queen. Although she won, Morgan still feels as if everyone deserved to win.
It's like, I just feel like on the court, really, like, everybody has such an equal chance, and it's always, to me, it's just a huge surprise whoever wins. I never really, like, know who's going to win.
All the girls had a good time throughout the week. The activities allowed each candidate to enjoy the week and make a difference in theirs and others' lives.
Rockbridge Elementary was probably my favorite. Just playing with the kids and just like, okay, lunch activities too. It was just all around a really fun time.
Overall, the girls felt more than honored to be even nominated.
It's just honoring to be chosen out of a lot of students and girls that are in this class. It's honored that my fellow classmates think so highly of me to nominate me.
Their week was great, and they all wouldn't change a thing.
It was perfect the way it was, and I'm really glad I got to be part of it.
For CPS360, I'm Lisa.
Being a homecoming candidate has always been an honor. Changes have been made to prove just how honored these candidates are. Here's Brett Wise with the story.
This year, Rockbridge's homecoming has a different feel to it than years in the past.
Homecoming is entirely planned by student council, and really the first step in that process is for them to sit down and decide what the theme will be of homecoming.
This year's theme of Color the Community has integrated the food bank, Rockbridge Elementary, and the VA hospital into the theme.
I really like it. I'm a part of student council, so I helped to plan everything. And I think it's a really good way to get everyone, or to try to get everyone in the school involved by just making it colors, and then having it go along with a organization is just a good way to help the community.
I actually like the fact that we're involving something that's important to our community, that we're getting Rockbridge involved in the community with the color theme.
However, both feel as if the majority of Rockbridge aren't that favorable on this year's theme.
Honestly, I'm not sure. A lot of people do. A lot of people don't really get it and think it's kind of stupid, but I think hopefully by the end of the week everyone's really excited about it and really thinks it's for a good cause.
I don't think that there was as much excitement from the school as there was from student council, unfortunately.
The goal of this year's theme was to include the community more, and that's something Hickman does very well.
You know, homecoming is done differently in many different schools, and Hickman's got a cool way of doing it. It's up to student council to look at how we do it and decide what changes they might want to make. And if they want to look at Hickman's and see what they do and use that as maybe a model, it's totally up to them.
I do like the way that they have specific charities for each queen, and I think it helps raise more money that way.
Whether or not Rockbridge develops a homecoming similar to Hickman's, one thing is evident. Change is in the near future. For CPS360, I'm Brett Weiss.
With the presidential election getting closer and closer, opinions are becoming more evident. Marissa Jackman asked high school students what their views were. Here's what they said.
At many high schools, politics aren't on the front burner when it comes to hot topics. But with many students now eligible to vote, the views of high school students are more important than ever. And at Rockbridge High School, they have no problem voicing them.
So who are you going to vote for this year?
Mitt Romney.
Why?
Because, well, first of all, he's a Republican, which I am. He's a great speaker, and his plans seem very well thought out, which I think will make this country work well and get back on track.
President Obama.
Why?
Because he's a good candidate. He has a lot to offer to minorities, people, students, especially students, like health care, scholarships, all that. And then I really don't care for Romney because he's a liar.
I would definitely vote for Ron Paul.
Why?
Because he legalized all drugs.
Obama.
Why?
Well, because I feel like if Romney wins, we're not going to be able to afford college, and so I want to vote for someone that really understands the people. I feel like Romney doesn't really understand the people, and he's just always been higher class, so he's going to just be for the high class people. So, yeah.
I'm not voting this year because I don't want either of them running for, or like being my president, because I don't believe in anything they stand for.
I'm kind of undecided. I'm not sure who I'm going to vote for. They both have good plans and stuff, but I'm not really sure yet.
Mitt Romney, Governor Romney. I like his tax plans. I like how he wants to get the country back on track and not settle for the unemployment rates or the debt we have to China, and he wants to fix the budget.
Although it's clear that many students have opinions, we will have to wait until November to see how the ideas of young people affect this year's presidential election. For CPS 360, I'm Marissa Jackman.
Here in Columbia, we have many students who are award winners. One of the most recent was a culinary achievement given to a senior at Rockbridge. Christina Young has the scoop.
What's sizzling this year? This year, one of Rockbridge's very young culinary senior students, Mallory Barnes, took 4th place in a national cooking competition. The cooking competition was located in Kansas City, where she was up against students from all over the nation.
I competed against 40 people, I believe. It was supposed to be one from each state, but a lot of them didn't show, about 10. But I competed against 40 people.
The cooking competition was an all-day process. It took about 8 long hours, making 7 different types of foods in a given timeline.
The competition, I had to make 7 different things. I made pineapple pie, decorated a cake, sugar cookies, white bread, pumpkin bread, Danish, cinnamon rolls, and coffee ring.
Since the competition was commercial baking, her food score was based on looks rather than taste.
Commercial baking, and it was kind of like trying to shine without like changing the recipe. So like your bread had to be the prettiest and like had the best gluten structure. And
Valerie's love and passion for cooking started at a very young age with just 1 loaf of bread.
I just remember one day waking up and making bread with my mom, and like I just knew then. I mean, I was probably 5, and then she gave me like a boxed cake mix, and I mean, I think it's really cool how like so little meek ingredients, like bread, it's flour, water, sugar, salt, and yeast. I mean, those can make something wonderful and something so beautiful, and they're just like so simple ingredients to make something that's awesome.
Even though some may think that winning 4th in the nation is good, to her, it was bittersweet.
I got 4th place out of the 40 people. I won in bread and pie and sanitation and one more thing, I can't remember. But I was proud of it, kind of. I wanted to do better than I did because I was so close to getting a scholarship. So, I mean, I'm happy, and it's like bittersweet. Like, you're happy you did that well, but you're kind of sad that you like missed it by that much.
For CPS 360, this is Christina Young.
Now it's time for CPS 360 Sports. Our first sports story will help us learn about Hickman's golf team and why they might be short next season. Here's Kaylee Wilson to tell us more.
Team dynamic is important in every sport, including golf. Throughout their high school careers, a group of Hickman seniors have grown closer playing a sport they love. But after this year, they will be going their separate ways.
I'll probably miss the girls the most because we have so much in common all the time and we're together all the time.
I'm going to miss the girls a lot. We're really close this year, and I'm also going to miss like coming out every day in a competitive situation and practicing.
With the departing of the seniors, the 2013 girls golf team will consist of only junior Claire McDonald.
Next year it's going to be kind of hard with nobody else, and we don't really know who else is going to try out, and we also, I hope people are going to, but not really sure yet.
Well, if we only have Claire, and some schools deal with this, they compete as individuals at the matches and tournaments, which means that You know, if they score the highest score, they could end up being #1 medalist or the top, you know, in the top 10 medalists. So that's an honor in itself too.
Although individual competition has worked in the past, the situation is not ideal.
The word's out that we're looking, you know, for some female golfers at the driving ranges, you know, Percy Creek and Guston and so.
With the coaches on the lookout, the 2013 golf season is still up in the air. Normally, there is no INT, but maybe next year there will be. For CPS360, I'm Kaylee Wilson.
Up next is Brad Meister with the details on the success of the Rockbridge soccer team.
At the start of every season, an athlete has one goal, to win a state title. Very few athletes get the opportunity to advance to the state playoffs. The Rockbridge Bruins soccer team has gotten that opportunity 2 straight years, and now they're looking to make it 3.
2 years ago, we were just happy to be there. Last year we wanted to win, and this year we want to win it all again. So
every season, the Bruins roster changes, but the goal remains the same, finishing first in state.
Yeah, everybody plays a key role on the team, and everybody brings everything to every game. And everybody can be successful as long as everybody's putting their heart into it.
The team has set their standards high, but they think they are capable of making a deep run in the playoffs.
I think that if we come out tough, we can beat anybody. We've proved ourselves against past teams like in the Gateway Tournament. And as long as we come out tough, Nichols has given us all the tools to be successful.
Bruins weren't expected to go very far after losing 11 seniors, but now they will have a better chance because the lowerclassmen are playing at a high level, especially freshman striker Taylour.
He's a great kid. He's goofy. I love him. And then on the field, you know, you always expect greatness out of him when he's on the field. You can always count on him, and then you also don't know what's going to happen next when he's got the ball on his foot.
The Bruins' run for the title begins October 29th at Blue Springs South for their district tournament. Eli says that the real season starts at Blue Springs, and they'll be ready for anybody. For CPS360, I'm Brad Meister.
Now we have Parker Adam with the Game of the Month, Rockbridge versus Fatima, and a special softball highlight video.
The Bruins strike early with a goal off of the head of the Nick White. Keeper Greg Kelly deflects Fatima's first penalty kick. Trip Sheehan drains the Bruins' first penalty attempt. Tyler Bales also converts on his PK. Greg Kelly deflects Fatima's final PK to seal the game, and the Bruins celebrate their victory on senior night.
Coming to the plate.
So have you gotten the dugout yet?
No, not yet. I'm going to though.
Who else really trying to wear Hollywood code? I'm with
Jordan, you got it! Big hit!
Rockbridge 9, Smith Cotton 0.
Thanks for watching CPS 360. See you next month.